I started Mr. by San Michael.
Believe that Archangel Michael's appearance in this manner is subject to interpretation. In this video, we'll be primarily focusing on Michael's presence in the Bible, as this is a Biblical Stories Explained series, but I will be touching on stories and legends originating from both Jewish and Islamic texts to give you ideas, as well as what he means to people today. He is considered to be the biblical God's finest champion, a being so powerful that he is able to banish Lucifer from heaven by himself, without direct intervention from God. His name, which means he who is as God, is usually considered to be an angel of protection, and perhaps the most powerful of all of God's angels. It goes without saying that as the most powerful, Michael is the leader within the realm of angels. But Michael,
I bring it to you, Mr. Here. His holy angel, and I bring it to you here.
What do you intend to do about it?
Congressman, with respect, Dr. Epstein's study, we have investigated. We don't agree with the methodology. Happy to follow up with your office and give our findings on that study. When we look at it, we evaluate our studies to evaluate our search results. Today we use a very robust methodology, and we've been doing this for 20 years. Making sure the results are accurate is what we need to do well, and we work hard to do that.
What does methodology have to do with the fact that 96% of the references to Trump are from liberal media?
There are always studies, which can show one set of data and arrive at conclusions. But we have looked at results on our top news category. We find that we have a wide variety of sources, including sources from the left and sources from the right, and we are committed to making sure there's diverse perspectives.
By the way, the study that I referred to was done by a self-proclaimed Democrat who voted for Hillary Clinton and said he regretted to find what he found, but he felt it was irrefutable and no one has been able to disprove him. Let me go to another question, and that is clearly there may be a difference of opinion as to the degree or amount of political bias. Would you agree to allow an independent entity to study your search results for political bias? I know you have individuals studying that now, but you appointed them. Would you allow a third-party, independent, outside organization to study your search results and cooperate with them to determine the degree, or if any, of political bias?
Congressman, if I may make 2 points. One is, today there have been independent third-party studies looking at search results. Economists did it.
But you chose those third parties. I'm talking about someone truly independent.
We didn't choose those third parties. They completed those studies. The second is, we are transparent as to how we evaluate search. We publish our rater guidelines. We publish it externally, and raters evaluate it, and that's how we are trying hard to understand what users want, and this is something important to us to get right. I'm happy to follow up and explain the methodology and the studies which have been done by independent third parties.
Okay. To my knowledge, again, you have picked those third parties, and I'd like to have someone truly independent study those results, number one. Number two, also to my knowledge, you've never sanctioned any employee for any type of, for manipulating search results whatsoever. Is that the case?
The time of the gentleman has expired, but Mr. Pichai will be allowed to answer the question.
Very quickly, it's not possible for an individual employee or groups of employees to manipulate our search results. We have a robust framework, including many steps in the process.
Well,
and
my time is up. Let me just say I disagree. I think humans can manipulate the process. It is a human process at its base. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You're back.
The gentleman here trying to basically understand movements of the Google, but when these people themselves, they don't understand reality behind the Google, who lock in, mister. If you believe in your intelligence in the internet, you can go lock in behind the laptop, behind the computer to other. You must believe Google, and I bring it to you as Mr. here. Google, Twitter, but I don't basically agree with the Facebook. But you must believe there is a secret intelligence they lacking behind the Google. But what they are, their agenda, what they are going to cost, I will explain for you, Mr. If these people not changing the direction, I'm talking about this gentleman here, he not changing the direction by raising basically intelligent system, which is the breaking the code of the space alien UFO who is lurking behind the Google system. We are not talking about Google movement. We're talking about deep Google system where they hitting to the earth. Basically, if they don't change this system, cost I bring it to you here because God cannot see human. The 5 billion people die because of Google or because of the system of the space alien UFO behind the internet, behind the Google, they lock in. So angel of the God raising Mr. to bring, I will explain for you here. To bring basically, I will explain for you here, Mr. According to the information we have, is the, check out this one.
1989 in Quebec, Canada. That's exactly what happens. One by one, power stations crash, disabled by the overwhelming.
If that occurred, if you can imagine a world without electricity, you're really going back in time.
And beside that, Mr., you can see that the gentleman search Mr. James Green. He came and he want to figure out basically what was the 1859. I will bring it to you here, Mr.
Was struck by a superstorm in 1859, the result of 2 massive CME waves.
Those 2 storms were not only enormous, but they happened one right after the other. No one alive has seen